afternoon student. Today we will see about the topic current loop as a magnetic dipole. So this is in unit 3, magnetism and magnetic effects of electric current. So that is the third unit. So as we saw earlier, that is in the last class, we are discussed up to magnetic field produced along the axis of current carrying circular coil. So that is the last topic. So here we are going to see about the continuation of that mathematical expression. So what is the expression for the last class? We studied that topic, that is magnetic field find out in the circular coil. So that expression is this is the expression. So B vector is equal to mu naught Ni divided by 2 into R square by R square plus Z square the whole power 3 by 2 K cap. So this is the expression we already saw in the last video. So today we are going to see about the continuation of this expression. So this expression, you just remember in your mind, we will find out the current loop as a magnetic dipole. Here the loop we represent as a circular coil only. That's why we have to take this value as a current loop. This acts as a magnetic dipole here. So this is only expressed in the mathematical equation only. So that's why we have to arrange, that is rearrange and include some of the terms in this equation. We have to find out the magnetic dipole, that is the current loop that also acts as a magnetic dipole. Now we will see the topic current loop as a magnetic dipole. So from this equation, that is the above equation, so B vector, the same equation here. So take that equation and next step, the larger distance of Z value. So Z is a 2 larger than R, therefore the term R square plus Z square, that is the denominator term, will be approximately equal to Z square, that is R term can be neglected, right? Next one, so the Z can only takes place, the R value can be neglected. Then next the equation B vector is equal to mu naught I R square by 2 Z cube. So that is the equation. Then you have to rearrange all the equation here. And we made a small adjustment, that is multiple and divided by pi value. So pi can be multiple and divided. So that is a small adjustment. Suppose we have to cancel this 2 value, the equation must be in the previous form. So that's why we have to adjust that. We have to multiple and divided by pi value. So that's why B vector is equal to mu naught I pi R square divided by 2 pi Z cube into A cap. So this is the equation. Then the equation must be in the form of A be the area of the circular loop. That's why the circular loop area can be considered as a pi R square, that is the area of the circle. So this equation can be rewritten as, that is pi R square can be taken as a value. So numerator value pi R square can be taken as a value. So mu naught I A divided by 2 pi Z cube. So that is the equation. Then you have to adjust that. Once again adjust that above equation for multiple and divided by 2. Multiple and divided by 2. So mu naught divided by 4 pi. So that is one of the constant. That is permeability in a free space. And this term will be 2 pi A divided by Z cube K cap. So this equation implies, that is IA. The comparing that equation with, so that another equation, that is IA is taken as a PM value. PM means magnetic dipole moment. So that is the value. So here we have to conclude that the circular loop that is considered as a magnetic, that is acts as a magnetic dipole here. So PM is equal to IA. Substitute the value in that above equation. So IA, instead of IA you put PM. So here also what is the value? It acts as a magnetic dipole here. So the definition, according to the definition, the magnetic dipole is the of any current loop is equal to the product of what? Current and area. Product of current and area. I means current, A means area. So this is the equation. The next one, we have to find out the direction of the magnetic moment. We have to use the right hand thumb rule. So already we studied about the left hand thumb rule for find out the direction of the magnetic field. So here, find out the magnetic moment, you use the right hand thumb rule. The same procedure, hold your hands and raise up your thumb. So we have to curl or hold our hands, that is right hand, and raise the thumb in upper direction. So the finger represents the direction of the current and also the thumb represents the direction of the magnetic moment. So here, so according to that statement also, we curl the fingers of right hand, the direction of the current, then in the loop, then the thumb gives the direction of the magnetic moment associated with the loop. So this is a way, this is a method to find out the direction of the magnetic dipole. Then next topic, tangent law and tangent galvanometer. So this is the instrument, that is tangent galvanometer. Galvanometer generally we used to find out the current which is flow in the circuit. So here also, this also works under the principle of tangent law. So that's why, so this is represented as a tangent galvanometer. So tangent galvanometer, it is one of the device which is used to measure a very small currents, So with the help of the moving magnets which is placed on the top of this instrument, so we have to find out the small amount of current which is passes through it. So and also it works under the principle of tangent law. Before see the construction of this tangent galvanometer and also working, we see about the tangent law first. So first of all, the statement gives the when the magnetic needle or magnet is freely suspended in two mutually perpendicular uniform magnetic fields, it will come to rest in the direction of the resultant of the two fields. So what is that meaning? So when we are generally in our studies, that is you are studied in your lower class, generally we are suspended one of the bar magnet with using the thread. So it can be freely suspended. So it can be comes to rest in a north and south direction. So here also we have to use the two fields, that is one is the magnetic needle or magnet, that is a magnetic field in a uniform magnet is placed in that, and also the earth's magnetic field, it can arrange itself in the direction of the resultant of the two fields. Here I explained about the tangent law. Okay, so here I have to take two components. So on before that we have to take one of the bar magnet here, that is north and south. I told that, so this is the freely suspended bar magnet. It always comes in the position of the resultant of the two magnetic fields. So what are the two magnetic fields present here? BH is the horizontal Earth's magnetic field, and here we have to take B is the magnetic field of the current that can be produced around the magnetic field. So here we are using the tangent galvanometer. A small amount of current can be produced, and because of that current the magnetic field is also produced. So that magnetic field we taken as a value of B. So and BH is the already present in the Earth's horizontal magnetic field. There are two fields are there and they are perpendicular to each other. So here the bar magnet, when we are suspended freely, so it always comes rest in the position of the resultant of these two magnetic fields. So here the components can be divided into two. So I already given the value of given the value of x and y here. So it can be suspended and make the angle of theta here. Now we will find out the triangle of O, N, and also I am not mentioned that is one of the triangle is there. So because of that theta, we have to find out the sine value. So sine theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. So opposite side y by hypotenuse ON. So then y is equal to sine theta ON. And also find out the cos value adjacent side by hypotenuse. So x by ON. So x is equal to cos theta ON. And comparing this two equation, so divide equation number 1 divided by equation number 2. So that is sin theta by cos theta. So your value is ON sin theta divided by ON cos theta is equal to sin by cos tan theta is equal to y by x. So here we taken the y value is the BH value, that is horizontal Earth's magnetic field divided by the current's magnetic field. So finally BH is equal to B tan theta. So this law is considered as a tangent law. So the next one, the construction of the tangent galvanometer. It consists of a copper coil, and the copper coil is framed. The frame is made up of a wood or brass, and also the base table. So here the leveling screws are there in the base table. That leveling screws can be adjusted by using the sprit level, and also on before that, so there are the 4 terminals are given. In this 4 terminals, it denotes the number of turns of the copper coil. The first 2 represents the n is equal to 2 turns, and the center of the 2 terminals represents n is equal to 5 turns, and the last 2 represents n is equal to 50 turns. Then on before that, there are one of the compass is there. In this compass, the 360-degree theta values are represents. It can be divided into the 2 halves, that is 0 to 180 and also 0 to 180. And in center of that, it can be divided into the small magnet is fixed to the north and south direction, and also 2 pointer is exactly fixed perpendicular to that magnet. And this aluminum pointer only denotes gives the value of the theta value by adjusting the current value. Next, working. When the circuit is switched on condition, the electric current will pass through the circular coil. Because of this current, and around that it can be produced the magnetic field. The magnetic field produces the circulatory electric current. So that is also we discussed in this lesson, that is starting in this lesson. And this electric current produces the magnetic field, and also original Earth's magnetic field, we have to place that initial adjustments in the Earth's magnetic meridian, that is Earth's magnetic field. Because of these 2 magnetic fields, the deflections can be occurred in the pointer, and it shows the deflection, that is the theta value we denoted as, and we have to change the current value increasing or decreasing. The different theta values we get, and we have to find out the value of current values using this theta value. Here we will find out the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So by using the expression, that is tangent law, B is equal to BH tan theta. When the electric current is passing through the circular coil, so that is the radius r, and also the number of turns we have to take that value. The magnitude of the magnetic field at the center, we have to take in that magnetic field. Already you know that the magnetic field of the circular coil, B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2r. So equate these 2 values. Already this is a tangent law value, B is equal to BH tan theta, and B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2r. This is a current is passed through a circular coil, that is a magnetic field value. Compare this 2 equation. So you will get mu naught Ni by 2r is equal to BH tan theta. Then we will find out the Earth's horizontal magnetic that is horizontal components of Earth's magnetic field. So BH is equal to, what is that value? BH is equal to mu naught Ni by 2r tan theta. So knowing all the values, that is mu naught by 2 is a constant, n is the number of turns, is equal to 5 turns. Generally we used that. Then r is the radius of the circular coil that can be taken using the thread, and also I is the current value that also we are given, that is in the by using the rheostat, adjusting the rheostat by tan theta. Theta is the angle that is made by the compass. So knowing all values, we have to find out the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So this is one of the practical part we are going to do in our practical lab. So no problem at all. You have to just understand and go through this tangent galvanometer.